Greetings from Holic Outdoors. A Friday evening, about 6:30. The sun in the background, still showing the haze of the atmosphere from the Canadian wildfires. It's humid tonight. They are calling for a 90% chance of rain tomorrow, which would be Saturday. Looks like mostly in the morning, but I was out spreading some, what you would call urea. Yes, the deer flies and flies are extremely active again. So in that plot right over there, that plot is probably in another video. It will be. It's just a matter of time. But the one I want to talk about today is, for reference in yesterday's video, I had mentioned I have a couple of number ones, some favorites. And what I mean by that is it depends on the time of the year. My focal point here on the farm obviously is archery, but I hunt all of them. I hunt, well, figure out of the 3 seasons last year, archery, rifle, and the late season, out of all 3, I believe I missed 3 days total, 3 days. So I look at everything, again, from my target backwards. Where am I going to be sitting? What am I going to be doing? Who am I looking for? And what's going to increase my odds? When I travel to different properties, I do some consulting, not a lot, but some. Most of it is just guys come to the shop and we kind of shoot the breeze. But a lot of guys will say, and it drove me crazy. Figure this is the 20th year I've owned the farm. We bought it in September of 2006. So you always hear about holding a buck. I can't hold the deer. I can't hold them. Don't even try to hold. Think influence. You know, when I first purchased the farm, they were here all summer, and come September 1st, they left. And I'll be honest, it has taken 20 years. It took an honest 5 to 10 to get that pattern to begin to shift. We now, to the east of the house and to the west, I have left a lot of that grow, where when we bought it, we cut it with a brush hog and actually a finish mower. It was an expensive yard to mow, but it's turned into kind of a fawning ground. I know a few years back we had probably 4 or 5 moms with little ones. Right now there seems to be 2 moms with 2 and a mom with 1, and a pair that I may have harvested that doe last year from them, that stay close to the house. They know where it's safer. They know where there's something to eat. So they have natural bedding and natural food to the west, and then they have some corn and beans to the east. And this is one of those, what I would call a number 1 plot. I love this scenario. So this is an Enlist soybean. And if you listen to any of the habitat guys online, they will say that they don't like Enlist beans. Well, I'm not sure about all that. It depends probably on your situation. Everything is a depends. It doesn't matter where you are. It's a depends. And in this, there's 2 different beans. There's a 2.3 maturity and a 2.9. And I like that because I want to time my plots out. I want certain plots to be green in the summer, and I want them to be green into archery, but I want them to start to yellow so that I can pinpoint them in smaller kill plots, if you will. So this is just under 2 acres, what you see here. It's just under 2 acres. Figure there's 2 50-pound bags of beans, and with each bag of bean is 3 pounds of a different type of corn. It is through Buckhead Wildlife. It is considered a high oil corn. And it is legit. They gave me permission to send it to a lab. They gave me their analysis, and it matched it spot on. And this particular corn has a higher fat content and a higher phosphorus content, and it's legit. So I was up to about 5 pounds of corn per 50 pounds. That seems to be too much. This is 3 pounds. And again, this plot is just under 2 acres. I've shortened it for a number of reasons, and there's a couple key ones, but this is like a number one. They like to get in here, and you can see how there's just pockets of area that's just more open, and then there's places that might seem a little thicker. Well, they get in here and they mingle. They feel comfortable. It's stemmy, right? There's cover for them to be concealed in while they're nibbling. Another common discussion point you'll hear is that the yields aren't as high. Yeah, maybe so, but it's a trade-off. Everything is a trade-off, and you will see just the evidence of that. These are a bushy bean. So if I get right down through here and you look, you will see how they just branch out. And that's one of the keys. Instead of having a bean that just goes straight up and gets nipped off, when the deer eat these, as long as you can get them out of the ground, these are Renk soybeans. These we are finding are, well, what's the word? Fantastic. They really are. They're that good. Last year I planted some 3/8 and some 4/2s, and they stayed green. Now, mind you, this year and last year, everything was planted later than usual. First week of June-ish. It was just so wet last year. It was wet this spring that things just didn't get planted. But I love the emergence of these Renk Enlist soybeans. They just scream out of the ground. You do need a license for Enlist beans. You are allowed to spray over the top post-emerge, two different 2,4-D solutions. It's the Enlist, it's the 2,4-D choline. I have not. And so again, pluses and minuses. Once the corn gets too high, I can't come through and spray. I don't have agricultural equipment. I have a UTV with a sprayer tank in the back. So my pre-emergent program has got to be pretty strong. And I see some sedges growing, and there's some other weeds in here that I'm going to have to come through and probably just do some spot spraying. But I would rather have, and it sounds from a farmer's point of view, it's going to sound a little whatever, but I would rather have my pre-emergent programs. And again, a pre-emergent herbicide is one you spray before the corn and soybeans emerge. It's before. I need that program because my goal is to not come in here and spray because I'm tired of running things over. So everybody looks forward to spraying. I'm like, I don't want to spray. I want to spray while I can just drive over all this and it's dirt and then be done. So the issue, though, is your August weed flush. I've changed my chemicals around a little bit in this one, and right now it's looking very good. So I do have some weed pressure, and I expect it. And at the point I'm at now, it's a backpack sprayer. I walk up and down some rows and go from there. But again, a 2.3 soybean with a 2.9, 3 pounds of corn per acre. And it's a maze. The moms get in here with their little ones. They mingle. The bucks will get in here. They'll chase. That is the cool part about November. So when does this plot shine? Honestly, October, November, December, January. They will be in here until there's nothing left to eat, until the corn is gone. And then they obviously transition all the way back to my big corn plot that I did the video on last night. So when I say I have a couple of number ones, I do. It just depends on, the timing, the season, the weapon. There's our main, oh boy, can I find that? I think it's right there. It's just hard to see. It's our big deer stand. It's what we call the press box. It's right there. So there's a couple of windows. It's hard to see, but nonetheless, now I can reach out over here with the rifle. Field 3 is over here. We can obviously, that's where Seth shot his buck. So they're all set up, but they're set up to time out. And what that means is this will start turning brown into October. I don't want it to go green too far because my other kill plot here, which is one of my primary, I call it Press Box West, center of the property. That's where I want them. That's a separate post on its own. That's completely separate post. But this was planted conventional agriculture, tillage, fertility program, pH adjustment with Pell Lime, This one has a specific fertilizer in it. This has a triple 19 with TMAC Agro's blue micronutrient package, and it is coated in Duomax. So Duomax is a large organic molecule that holds on to things, and it doesn't let it bind with the soil. It helps hold on to the fertilizer until the root interaction occurs. It's kind of fancy. And then there's an exchange between the root and the fertilizer, but the root will release some exudates and allow that bond to break. So it's pretty fancy. And this will get tissue sampled. Every soybean, am I accurate in saying that? My three main plots, my three big, like, influence deer plots for later season. Like, I need them to know this is a healthy place to be. It's a safe place to be. There's good food here, but each one has something different. This has the triple 19 with micros and duo. The next field over, which I call field 3, is a little bit different, and the front field is different too. So each one has their own place. I turkey hunt here quite a bit, especially in the mornings before school. There's a blind stuck right there. The trees have finally started to grow in front of it, but it's a knoll, and it's a great place to put your roosting turkeys, your decoys. Coming off the roost in the morning, this is after they come down, kind of get mobile in the morning. It's a good, 9 o'clock kind of situation where the turkeys are down and they're moving, and put some decoys. Oh, it's a cool spot to call from. You can see this field's about 500 yards long, 503, if you want to be exact with a rangefinder, depending on where you click. So lots going on in the food plot world, right? This is how you try to influence, not hold, influence. And if you do things right, what I'm finding is, and again, a lot of speculation here, is those little ones, when they're born here, they know where this is at, right? I don't have a collar on them. I wish I did. I wish I could, I know exactly who this deer is. The bucks are a little easier, obviously, than the does, but it would be so interesting to look and see, who's actually coming back. But in the back of my mind, I keep saying to myself, I'm influencing. And when the bucks come back, they're coming back now. Instead of leaving in September or in August, they're coming back mid to late July and then in August. And you never know who you'll see, come September and October. So, yep, things look good. Again, my goal was to put all my fertility down early, and stay out of this. And now it's too high for me to come over. So what I did was, and this is an interesting, just a little tidbit here. So I have cut this short by about 20 yards. You can see that's where it used to be. There's some miscanthus planted there. This used to be all clover. I have pulled this back, and you will see right down through here, there's a little lane I've cut. It used to be down further. Well, the problem is they want to bypass all the way down through. And one of my stands is right there. And this way they're going to walk down through. So I'm going to save that plot for a completely separate video. That's another story all on its own. So, well, words of wisdom from about a 2 acre, it's just under 2, corn and bean mix. It is just probably one of those, it's a number one. It's like, this is an influential plot. They feel comfortable. They spend time in it, and it's a draw. It's a draw. Sometimes a green plot is good. Well, they know what corn and beans are. So, words of wisdom: if you have the space to put in a large destination, you hear them called large destination plots. You can call it what you will. It's a corn and bean plot designed to influence deer come hunting season. With, it is hard to beat a green soybean. Just Mother Nature can beat it, right? That is a true point. acorns and hickory nuts and apples. Those, I've had plots that are so green and lush, they never touched them because Mother Nature trumps it. So, but when Mother Nature starts to run out and there's other options available, then this is a number one. We're going to talk about that plot and how it's a number one too. So they all have their point, they all have their purpose, they all have their function. This is an attraction, feed them a long time kind of plot. Great for rifle season. So, you know, the sun is still a little hazy from the, there it is, from all the smoke we're getting. But if you need something, I have a complete line of fall seed in stock, from clovers to brassicas to grasses, oats, wheats, and rye. I have custom mixes, custom blends. I have custom fertilizers. I have specialty triple 19s. I have urea, which would be a 330012 mixed with sulfur, coated in duo. So there's always something you can do to enhance your habitat. So I also have a complete line of Paul Pollock lures, including a couple of mine that I've doctored up. So if I can help you with your archery hunting and habitat needs, reach out. Words of wisdom from the corn and bean plot. What a beautiful piece. Kevin Mahalik Outdoors.